What's up YouTube? It's Ben, and in this video, I'm going to talk about buying or starting your own business and which is better. All right, hey guys, my name is Ben Nader, and on this channel, we talk about entrepreneurship, business, investing, software, recruitment, and so much more. And with all that being said, the talk of the town seems to be all around investing and buying existing businesses. So I figured I'd do a video on this, talk about the pros and cons and how you actually go about buying an existing business instead of starting one yourself. Let's get right into it. All right, so the premise for this entire video is that basically everyone always thinks of the startup, right? The startup concept where you literally bootstrap with your own money, maybe a couple team members, and you literally create a company from the ground up. And you actually then profit from that company maybe months later, maybe years later, right? But the talk of the town is about buying and investing into existing businesses, companies that already exist, right? And in this current period of time, the baby boomers are literally owning approximately 80% of all small businesses in America. That means that they are retiring soon, and 80% of all small businesses will then need to either be passed along to other generations or sold off to somebody like you. Maybe that person will sell at a discount and you'll get into an existing business that'll already be cash flowing and you'll already be making money. Let's talk about 5 reasons why it would be a good idea or a bad idea for you to actually buy an existing business. All right, so the number one reason that people buy or invest into businesses that already exist is that they're already profiting, right? So that business has already built itself up to a profit level where you can basically line your pockets with money day one, once you invest or once you buy the business, because it's already churning money, right? So things like car washes, things like coffee shops, restaurants, you name it, gyms, whatever it is, those businesses are already existing. They're already running. They already have customers. They've already gone through the entire startup struggle and they've already been profiting. So at that point, if you buy or invest to a business like that, at that point, you're going to profit on day one, which is pretty cool. But you got to have the capital to be able to invest or buy outright the entire business. All right, so the second reason I want to give you for buying an existing business is that the groundwork has already been laid out for you. Someone has already gone through the entire startup phase. And when I say entire startup phase, I'm meaning a lot more than just the entire startup phase. Like I'm talking about years of blood, sweat, tears, and equity that needs to be put into this game to get that particular business up and running, and especially to be profitable. Now, I know personally for a fact from creating several companies utilizing literally sweat equity and my own capital, right, that it takes time. It takes blood, sweat, and tears to literally create companies from scratch, right? Actually having ideas, capital, having sweat equity to put your time into this entire thing, right? It takes a whole lot to get something off the ground. But if somebody's already laid the groundwork and done the startup work for you, that is massive. The value of that is huge. And that's exactly why people sell companies for multiples of what the yearly earnings are, right? So if a company's earning like $300,000 per year, they might sell that company for around $1 million a year because they're going to sell it at about 3 times their EBITDA, otherwise known as their profit, what they actually take home at night. So that's what goes on when you buy a brand new business. Someone's already done all the hard work for you. All right, so number 3, and this is something that people don't realize whatsoever, but it's insanely important. Understand that you actually don't even need to have all the money up front to buy an existing business. There are literally hundreds of ways that you can finance the purchase of a brand new business, right? That you want to buy, brand new to you, right? That already exists. There are so many financial instruments, so many financial ways that you can go about purchasing a new business. And just off the top of my head, a line of credit from a bank, right? Like a business plan and then going into a bank asking for credit, like a line of credit, a loan, right? So you can go in and buy. You could do seller financing, meaning the business, the owner, actually keeps equity in the business until you can finally pay them off and out of the business so it's fully yours. So they might keep a stake in the business while you put in a little bit, so you don't actually have to come full out of pocket, and they fully actually are still in the business until you pay them off, right? Then there's all kinds of other loans, including SBA loans through the government, small business loans, etc., all that kind of stuff. You can go through and check out everything online about how you can actually use tons of different financial instruments to actually go and buy your own business without coming out of pocket for it. All right, so number 4, check this out. People actually want to sell their businesses, like badly. So earlier I mentioned that baby boomers keep up with about 80% of small businesses. That's a huge amount of small businesses in America right here, right now. Those baby boomers want to retire, right? At some point, everyone wants to retire and get out of their business, and they want to sell it. Sometimes desperately want to sell it, meaning it could be a distressed sale, meaning that the company might be making a good amount of money and it could be a good business, but they've got nobody else that they want to sell it to or no one else to give it to, and it's distressed, meaning they are in distress. They're like, I don't know who to sell it to. So when you come along, right, and you're like, hey, I can make a deal with you. I've got a bit of cash. I'll keep you in as an equity partner. Hey, let's make a deal. Let's get you out of this business. I'll take over. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. It's done. The seller literally will be so happy that you came along as the new buyer of that business that's already profitable. So again, you're making money day one. Literally, these business owners want to sell their businesses. And again, sometimes desperately want to sell them. I think this is one of the things that people overlook so much because they just don't understand that after a certain period of time, once somebody has started up a business, created the business, made the business profitable, and then run the business for quite some time, it gets old, right? They're like, I'm kind of sick of this. I'm kind of dealing with the stress. I'm kind of dealing with all the overhead. I'm kind of dealing with all of the BS that comes with the business. And they're like, I'm a baby boomer. I'm retiring. I've got grandkids. I just want to chill. And they want to get out, right? So there's motivation for so many people, right? They don't even have to be a baby boomer. It could be somebody else. It could just be a millennial. It could be someone mid-aged. It could be whatever. But there's lots and lots of people that want to absolutely get out of their business, and they really, really have high motivation to do so. So coming into those scenarios are really, really good for people like you that want to buy a brand new business that's profitable already at a discount, maybe with seller financing, maybe with a line of credit, maybe with a loan, maybe with some other financial instrument that you can use to get in and out without having to come out of pocket a big amount. So that's a big deal. Understand there are literally millions and millions and millions of these businesses that people want to sell. All right, so my number 5, my last tip on this, on buying businesses and investing into businesses, is understanding and doing your due diligence on the business itself. So number 1, just ensure that you're buying something that is recession proof. I know I say that really loosely because there's lots of businesses that are recession proof already. Everyone just thinks that businesses go way under as soon as somebody yells recession. It's really crying wolf, right? But understand that there are certain businesses, very specific businesses, that are going to go under if something tanks or if something happens with the economy. So you got to do your due diligence on number 1, just is it actually recession proof? Is it like economic downturn proof? Is it profitable during all seasons, right? Is it a seasonable business? Is it something that's only going to make money during the summer? Is it a business that's going to make money year round? Is it been profitable for years and years and years? You need to open up the books, right? You need to look at everything. You need to check the financials. You need to check what's been upgraded, what's been downgraded, like how the money has been flowing for years and years and years. Find that all out before you would ever even make an offer on a business like this. So this isn't something to take simple or easy. This is something as an actual venture. If you're an investor and if you want to get into this kind of stuff, instead of starting your own company or starting your own business, if you're going to be an investor and buy one, you really need to do your due diligence and make sure that you're buying into something good quality. At the end of the day, you always just want to make sure that no matter what happens, you are profitable. If you're starting up your own company, starting up your own business, online or brick and mortar, whatever, you want to be profitable. So you want to follow all 5 things that I just mentioned about buying existing businesses. And of course, follow my other videos to check out everything about what I'd say about starting your own business where you have 100% control, 100% equity, but you also have to put 100% sweat equity and all of that capital and all of that time into it, which I've done. And it's paid off quite well, and I'm really happy about it. But I'm also investing in other things too, including businesses, stocks, bonds, and real estate, right? So I talk a lot about that on the channel as well. Follow for more of that. If you guys found this video valuable, go ahead and please just smash that like button. Subscribe if you enjoyed this content as well. And leave a comment down below if you have a question about anything about buying businesses or real estate or investing or just like anything around that stuff. Plus, also join our Facebook group, Recruiter Empire. Link in description down at the bottom of this video. Click there, be our next brand new member of Recruiter Empire, and I will see you guys next time.